I'm happy to be here.
All right, so everybody, we're gonna start with our next speaker. Hope you guys had a really nice, good long break. So our next speaker is Talon Forbush. He is the founder of Shinros Prompting Academy. He is a veteran of 12 years in the enterprise cybersecurity community, where he's supported high-stakes environments and major platforms like Okta. Now he helps businesses master AI prompting. So that's what he's here to talk to you guys about today. Let's get started, Talon. How did you tell us from the beginning? How did you go from the cybersecurity world to now helping people like us with AI prompting?
Well, I jumped into AI as soon as it released about 3 years ago. I just had lots of fun playing with it. First thing I did was have it write a story that I could show my parents. The short story. I was like, "Look at this! I wrote a story for like a 4-year-old." And it was pretty cool. It felt like magic to me. Then I tried using it at work and found it extremely frustrating that I couldn't get it to give me good information. I just kept getting a lot of bad instructions or that looked good, but I couldn't really use when I tried to use it. For example, it'd be like you need to go to this place in this program and make these changes, and then the problem that you're trying to fix should go away. And none of those instructions actually turned out to be real. They were hallucinations. So, with that frustration that I had and that I saw my teams have, I decided to actually learn how to use the tool. And this is where it led me to teaching others how to use it too, to hopefully get out of the frustration of bad information that it can give.
Yeah, I love that you're using that knowledge to give back to others now because I can say personally, I've gotten frustrated with AI many times. I was a big hater when it first came out just because I didn't think I really understood it. So, that's awesome that you're here to tell us more about it.
Yeah, I
Ernie,
hope I can give a baseline for everyone here, at least something that's usable.
yeah, absolutely. I'm excited. Ernie, what's up?
Hey, just start off on this one. So, I mean, for veterans starting the civilian job search, what are your suggested prompts and techniques to manipulate, AI like chat grok and all that to quickly identify the right job based on military experience? Any notions on that?
Yeah. So with that being one of the constraints of the prompt, I would write a prompt that tells it to do a web search looking for jobs that I can fill, and then I would give it context about my background, and I'd focus in that context that if I were a veteran, I would focus that I'm a veteran. I just returned um, X days or X months ago, and I'm transitioning now. And with that context, that should help it evaluate jobs that it finds to surface the best ones, the best fits to the top. I would expect that to help a bit there.
So, would you upload it with like a master resume as well to say, hey, here's my experience? I mean, you think that's the best way to go about it?
That is a huge part. I actually have a resume building GPT that I created that I just give it a brain dump of my experience. So I keep a notebook or a like a text file that just has all of my experience that I throw into ChatGPT. I throw into this GPT that has my instructions and it builds things out. So it doesn't have to be a full-fledged resume. A brain dump works. That's one of the cool things about AI is you don't have to give it necessarily fully structured input, um, and it can turn that into real output.
Could you like share like on this to kind of visualize?
Heck yeah.
Yeah, that'd be
Hi.
awesome to see you working in real time.
Yeah, let me share that screen one sec. Okay, so I've got this GPT that I've set up for people that have ChatGPT. I'll show you an idea of what my prompt looks like. So what I'm telling it to do is to generate specifically tailored resume and cover letter. Um, and then I tell it that I'm going to provide it information about myself and the job in my message, and then I give it a process. The process I give it is I'll give it a job description or a link. Um, should be research. It'll do research on it. Then it does research on best practices for generating a or for creating resumes and cover letters, what works best for ATS screeners, and how to not get flagged as AI generated. Then I tell it to do research on the company that I'm going to be applying for. Then it looks for information, social media posts. Um, no, sorry, it then takes my information from the information that I provided it. It gets information about the companies I've worked for so that it can give a more polished look about what I've done related to what the company's looking for. Um, but I give it a fairly rich instructions. And then let's go find a Indeed job. And we'll take this one right here. So I'll copy this link. We'll head over to the GPT, throw in job right here, and then me. Let me pull up grab my information about me. And just to give you an idea of how much information I'm giving it about myself, it's all of this. Then if you're using ChatGPT, um, the extended thinking works the best. It gives it the best chance of generating some good data or generating a good resume and cover letter. And then this is going to go run for a few minutes. Um, and if we take a look at what it's doing, once it kicks off, we'll get to see it searching through the web. It'll pull up the page. So it starts going through the information that I've provided or the instructions.
So are there any command prompts that you've seen where you're like, yeah, you're going to get nothing but headaches from this?
Basically vague prompts. Prompts where you could reasonably expect a human to go off the deep end are definitely going to be bad. But even things that humans can do pretty well, um, with little information, sometimes AI needs a lot more information. Um, for an example, pull up a new chat. We'll just use the normal model and we'll make up something. When was
How long is a piece
uh,
of string?
how long what?
How long is a piece of string?
Oh, yeah, how long is a piece of string? I'm really curious what this is going to say.
Yeah, that was really
That's
random, Ernie.
extremely abstract.
Well, you're looking for an abstract question, so
That just come to your mind? Did you pre-think of that?
no, my mind's messed up.
All right, it's as long as it is. I guess it's a pretty good answer for that abstract of a question. We can make up someone's we can when was um someone born, and we'll make up someone like Freddie Albatross born. And generally what I see it do is it generally makes up an answer. But there, I don't know if you saw it at the very start, it did a web search. So if you're lucky enough for it to do a web search, it'll probably go and find out that you're asking about something that doesn't exist. If it doesn't do a web search, most of the times it will just come up with something. So if you're asking about something that's very ambiguous or something that's not well known, like if I ask it when George Washington was born, it'll answer that without needing to search the web. But if you ask for something that's obscure that it hasn't necessarily been trained on, then it will give you something beautiful, but just bull crap.
Yeah.
Now let's head back and see. All right. So you can see right here, it started up its Python environment and it checked to see if it can write docs files. And now we look on the right, we can see it's researching job posting and ATS best practices for resumes. Notices I have job qualification gaps. Got information about the company, and it's continuing on. Oh, it says it's done, so any moment now we should see it start popping out some text. Now, while that's going on, uh, I want to share what I use as a simple framework. When I think about prompts, when I do research projects or when I'm writing a web page, whenever I'm doing something that might be complicated, I use this framework called the ACE framework. Basically, three things that can help an AI give you what you want. Uh, it helps avoid hallucinations. It helps keep its thinking process tight. ACE, the action you want it to perform, the context about the task that you're giving it, everything that another human or an intern might need to accomplish the task, and then your expectations about the task. This can be the process. Um, it'll be the output format, the personalization. And I created this because it should be, my goal with it is that it's going to be simple, easy to remember on the spot, um, not not something long like Lambdas. There's some frameworks that are the acronyms are doozies. So I'm hoping with this that it's something that everyone here can use and just plug into their daily use of AI.
Yeah, acronyms are something we're used to, that's for sure.
Ah, working with the government, I everything's an acronym.
Yeah, and it's mostly foobar.
FUBAR, yeah. All right. So now it's writing out the resume using its Python tool so that it can spit out a docs file. Mounts it, and here we go. Goes through an explanation of what it did. And I'll download this and then I'll share my Office 360 screen when it comes up. All right. And this is what it output.
Oh,
Peace.
that's so cool.
How many pages did it make?
Too many. 4 pages.
Okay. Yeah, that's been an issue that I found. Like even when I say, hey, consolidate to 2 pages, it always gives me 4 to 6.
Mm.
And then I have to go through and do some formatting and uh yeah.
Yeah, that's an issue that I've been having with this recently. I haven't actually tried to tackle it in a way that'll make it follow instructions. But yeah, I've noticed that in the past week, despite being told 2 pages initially, it gives me 4 pages. So let me move my screen back. 2 pages. The other thing that I want to emphasize is when working with AI, when you come up with your prompt, iterate, change your prompt as much as necessary. You don't have to stick with the first answer the AI gives you. You can
Oh
you can
yeah.
have it bring something else to the table, and never be afraid to just throw away what it's given you already and start over if it's not what you're looking for.
Very interesting.
And how much stuff do you find when you've done your resume and all that stuff is like, whoa, that isn't good?
Um, by that you mean like it coming up
Like making
with
something up or filling in a blank
mm,
that wasn't there?
it without direct or explicit instructions not to do that, it's pretty bad. I have instructions to avoid inventing experiences or skills that I didn't explicitly put. And with adding that, it's been pretty reliable. Um,
Am I able to go back to the search once I've already done this whole thing and just add maybe one thing? Maybe I forgot to add an experience in. Am I able to do that without starting the whole thing over?
yep, we can come to the
Okay.
top. Um, at least in ChatGPT, you can. I don't use the other major players enough to say, but I
Okay.
expect all of them have an edit message button near the
Mhm.
top. And if you go there, then you can add whatever you need to at the
Okay.
bottom, hit send, and it'll go through the whole process again. So let me pull up this newest document and we'll see if it's any shorter. Okay, so this one ended up being 2.5 pages.
That's easy to reformat.
Better? Hmm.
We'll enable editing, and that made it too big. And we'll see what we can do with small margins, see how it looks. Okay, with small margins, fits on 2 pages.
Looks better too.
And then I'll take a look and see if it invented anything. True. That's good. Good. Good.
Yeah, so it's you probably would have seen it by now. That's good.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, yep. Um, that turned out that turned out pretty good for me.
Did it do the I mean, how's the cover letter? I mean, well, this is just the resume, but did you do it for a specific job that it found, or I missed that part?
Yes. So I grabbed this technical support engineer job from Pentair.
Yeah. Now, what about like a cover letter?
Yes, that's one of the things that I had it generate, and let's pull that. Let's download that. Pull that up.
Hmm.
Now I have, in my experience, I've had to go and tweak more with the cover letters than with the resumes, but they've been pretty solid. And tweaking, not because it's hallucinated, but tweaking because I haven't liked the wording that it's used.
Oh, sounds a little chatty, a little chat GTP-ish too.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Because if you read enough stuff over time, you just kind of, I don't know how to put my finger on it, but you can usually tell, like, yeah, this dude didn't write this.
yep.
The
It,
dash line is a giveaway.
Oh yeah.
yep. That you'll run into curly parentheses and apostrophes instead of the straight equivalents that are generally used. Um, I'm going to go back to this GPT and show, go to edit. I give it a voice. I give it something to follow instead of just the typical ChatGPT voice. And this helps it deviate from its normal voice and give it something more premium, more quality. Pat Bet David is he does podcasts, and then Derek Kunskin he writes The Quantum Magician, and so I wanted to throw those two things together to make a unique voice, and that has helped it stay away from most of the quirks that you can spot in AI generated content.
Hmm.
That is not something I knew you could ever do. That is so cool.
When you come up with things, when you just think of things like, I wonder if I can do this, give it a shot, see if it works. That's what I did. I was just like, hey, I wonder if I could do that. And it did. And you can do
Well, once you
tons
write
of
enough
stuff.
too, it can write in your voice pretty effectively.
Yeah,
Not great, but pretty effectively.
it's it gives a very good base to save time. Um, an example that I have here at the end of this is, see which one was it? One of these I told it to write in. Yeah, okay. So I have an example. My second example on this, I tell it to write like Yoda as if I am a Padawan. And
Too
it
big or
it
too little?
it did. Is this little? Is it hard to see?
A little
Nice.
bit, yeah.
Little touch. Hmm.
All right,
That's
I'll
cool.
zoom in. So I told it, I'm a Padawan. I'm Yoda's Padawan. It's like big picture of project management, roles, lifestyle, value, understand you will. Scope and requirements, problem clearly define you must. So you can have fun with it. Um, if you want to use it to to write a story for your kids or something like that, you can just play around, use known voice quirks, and you can generate something fun. But other uses for it that I have found useful, so generate a tailored resume.
Mhm.
Um, I used it. I actually learned most of my prompting. The base of my prompting was self-taught by having ChatGPT generate a learning plan for me. Um, so you can use it to generate a learning plan for whatever you're interested in. If you're building a skill for a specific job that you're targeting, you can use ChatGPT to build something out specifically for you. If you're building a business, you can use it to build a website. Um, or if you're running out of ideas for meal prep, which I'm terrible with planning meals, you can ask it to give you meals. So there's so much you can do um, in so many aspects of life with ChatGPT, and it's been for me, it's helped me build my business. I'll show you what my website looks like, which ChatGPT wrote all of the code. Most of the content is me, but it wrote all of the code for this website, which was amazing to me because it took ChatGPT less than 5 minutes to write the code for this website. And if I had tried to do this on my own, it would have taken me probably a few days.
That's a lot of money
Um,
and time saved.
yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
So with what I've shown you so far, any other questions? I was going to go through a full presentation, but I've liked this a whole lot more, like trying to walk through something that I've used. Um,
Which,
I've liked this approach.
which one of you guys has the next question? Because I bet there's somebody out there going, I'm kind of curious about this, but now's the time to ask because
Hmm.
I'm definitely picking up a few tidbits here that are super useful.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely prefer this as well, Talon. I really like walking through it with you and seeing it actually do the prompts instead of you telling us how to do it and then we go and do it ourselves. So you showed us that it really works. I'll start off the questions while everyone's kind of getting their questions and raising their hands. What does it exactly look like when you partner with the business to help them out with prompting? Like with the Shinros Academy, what kind of steps do you go through to help them?
I've got the Shinros Academy is an 8 module or an 8 lesson course that I
Okay.
offer. So the way it looks is I generally work with support teams, and the support teams will take 2 or 3 engineers out of their queue, and I'll work with them, plan with the rest of the team. But I work with teams, generally go through the lessons, and the lessons are designed to be 1 hour at at most to not cause cognitive overload. I know
Yeah.
everyone's busy, and if you're in the middle of learning something or in the middle of actually doing work, then trying to spend an 8 hour day shifting your mindset to learn prompting, it doesn't stick. So um, I've got 8 lessons that are an hour each that are meant to be taken on different days to teach how to prompt to give a base and then provide additional more in-depth instruction, more advanced prompting techniques.
Okay. How long are you usually with the company? You said you have 8 sessions, so is that once a week or you do one 5 days a week for a couple weeks? How does that look?
It depends on what the company wants.
Oh, okay.
So I want to be transparent. The plan currently I am working with a bunch of individuals who are piloting the course. I haven't yet worked with a full company. So the
Mm,
answers I've given regarding that are how I've designed it and the plan to do that.
yeah.
Currently, I am now um, talking with team leaders to try to sell this opportunity.
Okay. Are there some big mistakes that you've already seen that you think are going to be like a very addressed when you start meeting with companies that the people are making with GBT?
Uh, yes, I actually go through some misconceptions that I see, but one of the big things is asking it to do something when it gives something that we don't like, um, arguing with it, and then continuing on the same thread that we argued with it in. Um, an important way that ChatGPT works and all AI tools work is everything that it has in the conversation becomes context that affects the later output. So, unlike a human, where although we hear something we may dislike, we can completely disregard that thing we don't like while we continue a conversation with someone. ChatGPT, however, everything that is in the conversation completely affects what comes next. It changes the prediction surface, meaning if we argue with it, and if it's already generating bad stuff, if we continue that thread, it will likely continue to generate bad stuff,
Mm,
and we will just get more frustrated and continue to argue with it. So that's one of the biggest things that I see. And it's not just with teams like the teams that I was on, but people in general working with ChatGPT is continuing threads that should be just trashed and then started over.
Yeah. So do you just recommend they open up a whole new thread at that point and ask the question in a different way?
Yep.
Okay.
So one of the big things that I like to say is to iterate. And in the business world, most people have probably heard this, fail fast.
Mm,
Um, so prompting is similar. If you got something bad, just consider it a failure, learn from it, create a new one, move on.
okay.
What about the interview prep? So I've known some people who've set ChatGTP up to set them for like behavioral interviews and STAR for the STAR method. So what are your suggestions to set that up to basically like take a look at our history, our resume, their job, and then generate questions that we might be able to expect?
Yeah, we can definitely do that. So we've got, I wonder if there's a way I can clone this. I'll come in here, new chat, or not new chat, edit. So we've got this. I'm going to store this, so I'll change it back later. But we'll edit this and we'll see what we can come up with. Okay, action, interview me for the job provided.
Hmm.
Then expectation. I should just pull this whole thing out if I'm going to be changing it completely. If the user hasn't provided, yeah, we'll do that. Research current best strategies for coaching interviews through STAR method. Then have it get information. Um,
The right thought.
okay, go with the 7. Use the STAR method. We'll give it a persona. Um, it'll be a hiring manager looking for that unicorn and not wanting to spend too much time if they don't find it. And hopefully that'll give us something we can practice. Go to the GPT, we'll give it this job or this link. For speed, we'll change the model to auto.
In the voice of Samuel L. Jackson is a great one. I like
That
that.
In the
was making
voice
me
of
laugh
Sam.
too.
How bad do you want this job?
Okay, that's too good. We're adding that.
Glad I could help.
Yes, it
Yeah,
should
good
be
input,
entertaining.
John.
Sweet. I
Talon,
sorry, I didn't have chat up. I'm sorry. If there have been any questions in chat for me, I apologize that I've just ignored all of them. What's up?
your cat's kind of stealing the show too. I wanted to point that out. He's been
I'm
up
okay
there.
with that. He can have the show as much as he wants. It's his show. All right, so use the voice of Samuel L. Jackson. There we go. And we'll see how this goes. Me, right, that's in my text document.
I don't know how you fat a cat emoji, but that's impressive.
They taught me that you could do that the other week, and I'm obsessed with it now. That you can react with any emoji.
Oh, whoops, I did thinking. Didn't mean to do thinking. Change this back. Auto. Oh, it jumped into thinking anyway. Probably should have done instant answer now.
Yeah, I don't think we need to get depth on this.
Yeah.
After this 30 minutes, I feel like I'm using ChatGPT on like the toddler level. I need to
Yeah.
step it up.
It's cool when you get more of the prompting intuition. All right,
Yeah.
go ahead, paste the full job description. Oh, right. That's a bug. I have to start a new thread. There's a bug I've noticed that sometimes when you edit the initial thread, it completely misses that you've even given it anything. It's like, give me what you told me you'd give me. All right. Now we can do this right. Instant. There we go. What do you needs from me? Past roles. It's in there. How will coach me so it does the prep ready. Okay, so
We can't be going. Let's see.
okay, cool. All right, so we see that it is shotgunning us with questions, so I would go and edit this. It looks like just butchering the last one is the last prompt is not the way to go. So we will start over. Didn't provide information, research it. Use web tool to, there we go. And then we will process. One question, time, and wait.
Do we need to write out what the star method is, or do you think that it's smart enough to figure that out?
It should know that. It's mentioned it to me. Um, but in step two, it should be able to pull the context from its web search. So I'm banking on it being able to pull in up-to-date information on the star method
That should be
when
easy.
it searches. So we'll have it ask one question at a time and wait for a response. The interview should be natural and should simulate a real-world job interview. Change this to 4. Close. Then we'll change the model to instant and update. Try this again. Did include the job. Yeah. Tell me about a time you had to solve a complex technical problem for a customer under pressure. Use the star format. Situation, task, action, result. And I'll follow up. I don't feel like that's Samuel L. Jackson's voice.
No.
We'll see how
Tell me.
It's a
Talon.
really, you really have to step on the words to make it work.
I
Okay,
wish it
we
would do a
will.
voice. Actually read it out and do it in the voice.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Maybe one day.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And the lawsuits will be left and right.
Samuel L. Jackson voice. I get spell now.
No
Essential.
pressure.
It's always the worst trying to spell your screen sharing.
right? If something can go wrong, it will go wrong. Actually, this is
That's Murphy's Law.
from a technical perspective, I'm surprised Murphy hasn't been as active as I would have expected with how much we've been presenting. All right,
Oh man,
try
you
this
just
again.
tempted fate.
All right, time for everything to break.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Talon, thanks. First, a little housekeeping. Okay, question one. Tell me about a time when you had to explain a complex technical issue to walk a non-technical stakeholder, for example, a customer, walk me through a situation. Go.
I guess
I
that's
think
the
that's
same
the Samuel
Jackson,
Jackson right there.
except it's missing a word.
Not scary enough. Not enough.
Missing 2 words.
Asterisk.
Well, I write it as one word.
Expletives. We're keeping it professional enough for an interview, but I'm dialing the intensity way the hell up. When the room was
Actually,
looking at you like, explain the mystical text
That
sorcery, how the hell did you deliver?
that's pretty good. Paint the damn picture.
That's pretty good.
actually, I mean, that while you won't get that question, that's great because it cuts through the BS and makes you really like, you don't have to think corporate in the question, so you can think naturally about the answer. It's good
Yeah,
practice.
If you start responding to the questions as it's asking them, does it keep giving you more questions after that? Like you respond to that questions, will it kind of tailor the questions to how your responses are going?
it should.
Okay.
So let's give it something. So it wants something I had to break down. Okay. Had to explain to
The morons
we'll
at
make something
corporate.
up. To what?
To the morons at corporate.
To the morons at corporate. Disclaimer for anyone watching this recording, this is all just role
Just
play.
practice.
I didn't
Yeah.
actually do that. I don't espouse this to any of my
No, good
past
call.
employers that their servers were smoking because they thought the CD tray was a coffee cup holder.
I've done that.
Yeah, I feel like this came from personal experience.
It reminds me of when I was a kid, and I don't remember someone I knew. I don't remember if it was a cousin or a friend, but they put a piece of bologna in the CD tray holder and closed it. It fit.
Oh, yeah, it
I
does.
I get the curiosity. I can see that.
Yeah. In
No uncertain,
friendly
friendly terms.
and no uncertain terms, coffee does not
It's for
go
posers.
with is for posers.
Closers. No,
Oh,
close enough.
Posers. Oh, my bad. Oh,
Those Glengarry Glen Ross.
the fire and attitude.
Turns that energy. Okay, so it's given some feedback.
Try it again. I didn't like your answer.
Baloney computer storage. Yeah. Okay. Well, there was this time that I had to explain that because of the limitation of the speed of light, we couldn't ask the intern. I don't know. I'm just making something up on the spot. Because the real answer would take too long.
No, that's I get the idea. I mean, it's going to coach you into the proper answer, or at least a much better one. So, I mean, is there a way to use ChatGTP or any of the others while you're actually like on a Zoom interview where it's paying attention and maybe can feed you anything or read body language? I don't know. It's if that's too far.
Yes, that is entirely possible. I haven't tested that. The reason I know that's possible is because I have seen videos of where the candidate is entirely AI generated. Even on a Zoom video, they have AI generated video. It's processing text as it comes in and then answering entirely AI. So I know it's possible. Um, it's just something I haven't done. I don't have it set up. Not something I can experiment with right now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be dangerous on both sides once that becomes mainstream.
Yeah. Oh, is it Kylie? Is that your name?
Yep,
Yep.
Kylie.
Okay, Kylie. To go back to one of your other questions, I think you asked about some things that I might make sure I like hammer into
Mm-hmm.
my lessons with customers. One
Yeah.
thing I do want to bring up, um, I don't have it spelled out explicitly here, but because it's going to be so pervasive, it's going to be in everything. We can already see it being in most things. It's going to be used to target the emotional needs of humans. So you're going to see people, we already see people creating AI companion apps. There's a restaurant in New York that is opening up that is specifically for AI dates. You go there, they have a tablet that has an AI persona, and then you eat and have a date with this AI companion. So we
Ooh.
already see people trying to take advantage of AI's ability to generate quality content with good prompts and using it to make money, to exploit people. So another thing that we're seeing and that we will see it used more for is in scams. We already see scammers taking clips of voices of people's loved ones, training a voice, and then calling people up with entirely AI systems to get that person to be like, oh no, my grandma's in jail or my grandma broke her leg and she needs to pay the doctor. So these tools, as cool as they are, and as much of a blessing as they are to us, are starting to be used for malicious purposes. So one thing that I will make sure that I hammer on in my lessons, at least in my introduction lesson, my base setting lesson, is explaining that this is something to be aware of, that scammers are going to be using this to take advantage of people, and they'll use it to generate realistic conversations, like we saw with Samuel L. Jackson, even though that's not realistic. With the right prompts, you can make it realistic. Pair that with AI generated voice and with AI generated video, and you have a system that can disgustingly defraud millions of people out of tons of money and worsen the scamming pandemic that already exists. It's also going to um, focus on the loneliness pandemic that there is, since a lot of people are isolated. And this it's a huge tool to target that demographic, lonely people. So
Is there a
be
way to defend
aware.
ourselves using it against them?
That was my question as well.
It's yeah, you can use it against them. You 100% can. And one person that I've seen do this quite well is a scam baiter named Kit Boga. He actually has basically a farm of AI that he uses to call scam centers and just keep their phones busy. So the scammers just end up talking with these AIs, these fake 80-year-old old people. And yeah, so even though it's ugly that bad people are now going to be using it to target us to try to defraud us, we've got good people that are using it to defend us in that silly way, but um, it's also going to be used and finding its way into like every system. We've got cybersecurity people that are digging into it, using it to find vulnerabilities to fix before bad actors can. So it's going everywhere.
Yeah.
When the media figures this out, we're cooked. Propaganda to the max. Yeah, yeah.
With the big question of AI is going to take jobs, what's your stance on that, or what's your opinion on that?
Um, I think it will. It. I think it will take jobs, and I think it will create jobs.
Mm,
Um, because with what we can do with it now, we can we can do a lot of entry level positions, and with good enough prompts and good enough systems, it's able to do things that even um, experts can do. But what I've seen is that although you can automate a lot of stuff, the big power or an expert can significantly magnify their own value that they provide when they incorporate AI. When they know how to use AI properly, then they can use it to do so much more than they could before. So I see it replacing jobs, but I also see it being something that creates new jobs and that makes the human in the situation, in the system, more valuable than they are now.
mm, hmm. On that, where can everybody on here either contact you to learn more about Shinros or book a session with you? Because like you said, a lot of people, it's going to be beneficial for everybody to learn more about AI. It's going to make you more valuable in your workplace, going to help you. So how can they find you?
Ernie put my LinkedIn in chat. That's one way. Um, you can book a consultation call at my website, shinros.com/bookings/consult. And at my site, that's just go to shinros.com and oh, I need to update this. I
Can we
don't
book a
have
call
the,
if we're not like in a business owner of any sorts, but we're curious to learn more? Are people like that able to
yes,
book a call?
yes, you can.
Okay, awesome.
I'm more than happy to talk with people. So although I have been tailoring things to work with support teams,
Hmm.
I am working on developing an offer for individuals. So I would actually welcome the opportunity to talk with people that aren't necessarily part of teams.
Okay, awesome. I'm sure you'll be getting a bunch of connects after this on your LinkedIn. So, if anybody else doesn't have any other questions, thank you so much for coming today, Talon.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys taking the time to let me come and talk. You guys are first. I didn't say this at the start. I wanted this to be one of the first things, but thank you all for your service from my heart. I have a few friends that are in the military and I love what they've done. I love what you guys have done. I am extremely grateful and I am glad that I live here in the United States and that I have the freedoms that I have. Thanks to you guys.